I just wanted to update you and introduce you to the unsubscribed healthcare data center. So this is the brain behind the bunch. This is how I make everything work within that new app that I showed on, or the add-on that I showed yesterday. Here is your company information. This is where you would put in all of your company information if I did it wrong, or if you wanted to update it, this is where you would do it. This is actually the spreadsheet HTML, so at the very top, you would copy and paste after the \d or d backslash, there is a set of numbers and then another backslash. That in between those two backslashes is what this is. So this links specifically to this data center, and all of the other templates will bring forward this information. If we subtract or hide the grouping for the data or for the business, you can see that here we have the practitioner's information, the therapist information. If you use the unsub menu at the top here, you can do add clinician, right? You can do test 1, 2, right? Submit, and you can see that it populates there. All right, if we go on to the next section, this is the intake. So this is all of the information that's needed to fill in those CMS 1500. This will be what is given to you on the intake form I give you. If you want to add other things to the end of it too, you can, but this is what's required for making the CMS 1500 work smoothly. The way that this works is that you have the patient's name. It's a dynamic menu, so as soon as you add in somebody down here, the menu will update as well, right? So say we wanted to take a look at Chuck E. Cheese, right? So we'll go to Charles Cheese. We click on patient ID. The way patient ID works is that you put their first initial and last name initial, and then you put the date of the intake. This way, the programming that I've written is able to figure out which one you want to select. So when we do search, you're going to see all of the information is brought into the charts here. Obviously, this one's not too full, so we could go ahead and add in things. This is great, so if you're busy in the middle of a treat, you say, hey, let me get your name real quick. I'm going to put it down, and then I will call you back. So this is how you would be able to submit that. And again, you would do that by decoding up here, patient intake, and filling out just those 3 things are needed in order for the programming to work. So first name, last name, I put stars next to it so you can get past them. And then also the ID, okay? So we can get rid of that. That is patient intake. So if we wanted to, change and say his phone number was 6, right? You can see here, this is where his phone number is listed. If we did update, intake updated, and you can see here, now his phone number is changed to 6. So it will update all of them. So it makes it easy, and you don't have to keep resubmitting form after form. In billing, this is the way that I am able to keep track of simple billing. This is just examples. Obviously, all these patients are fake. But if we come over to Jimmy Garoppolo, because he has the most, right? We click on it, and you can see that as we do, down here, updates. So now you can see all of Jimmy Garoppolo's information. If you say we wanted to look at his January 25th date of service, we would have to click on patient ID, just like before. It needs to be the same ID that you made prior. And so we come here, we know that it's JG 192022, right? So JG 19022, so it gets rid of the other ones. Now we come here, we can see that January 25th is what we wanted. So you come here and you can see that January 25th is there. If we do search, all the information is updated here. You can see the amount billed is in red because we have not had a date received yet. Say that, we finally got the amount received and they paid us $100, and they paid us, on the 30th of January. Okay, as soon as you click on that, this turns to black, and you can see that the amount collected has been updated. You have a spot for co-insurance copay, amount for other stuff. So say that you charged them $20 and or this is for a tens unit. I made it so that you could label it. You come here, it's $20, right? Date collected was yesterday or last week, right? And you can see that again, it updates it and tells you which still needs to be updated and whatnot. Again, you can update. So if I clicked update, now when I go to get that form again, right? If we go to all dates of service, right? And we do, actually, let's just do clear. We'll run through that real quick again. Jimmy Garoppolo. JG 19/20/22. And then we said the 25th of January, and you can see that there. Now if we do search, the information has been updated. You can see the $100 is there, and all of that is there. You need to, as you can see, if you make a mistake, if you double click on it and it's still in this area, when you click update, it won't update it because the cell doesn't recognize that it has a value in it yet. So if we were going like this, and we have our cursor in it, and when you click update, it wouldn't register that. You need to click outside of that. So there are some limitations to this, but overall functionality-wise, this thing works pretty well. The other limitation with it is that if you have two dates on the same data service, you click search, it will show the first one, and then if you click delete, it's going to delete both of them. Well, so it deleted that one and something else. Obviously, we don't want that. So if you make a mistake like that, you just click back, back until it shows up. Okay. So that is one limitation of the feature. If you have, dates of service as being the same, it will delete multiple. So one of the limitations, but easily fixable. If you wanted to add it in manually and just type it in, you would come over to the right. I've hidden all of the calculations and all of the original data entries all the way over to the right. And you could put it in this way, just finding the spot. So I have it so it's highlighted for you. So if you needed to troubleshoot it, you can see that these two have the same dates of service. So we know that these are the two data entries that would need to be edited. So yeah, it updates this column as well for you based on what's selected, so it makes it easier for you to troubleshoot and update. All right, again, if we could clear, now you can see all of the patient information is down below. Insurance company info. So if you use the CMS 1500 form that I have available, then if you put in their insurance information here as well as their street address or anything else, it's going to populate on the CMS 1500 for you at the very top portion, so that when you print out the CMS 1500, it will also print out the address where it needs to go, so you don't have to keep typing that in individually every time. I also included areas for you for fax, phone number. You can click on the website if you have their website, and it will just bring you to the website that they need to go to. If you wanted to put in notes about their fee schedule and what they pay per code, that's available as well. Same thing if you had a really good experience with Jen and you wanted to remember to talk to Jen if she was available, then you could add that. You can also say it takes about 3 weeks until you receive it, so that way you remember and you don't have to freak out if it's going on the second week and you haven't received any payment from them yet. Again, it works the same way. You can click here, click Anthem, click search, and now it updates and puts Anthem in there. Putting clear, we'll clear it, right? Pretty easy to use. Same thing for doctors. For MPI, I also added in the lock and unlock button, so if you're afraid you're going to mess these up, then you can just keep it locked. If you come here, let's go to George Michael, say that we want to update his PA, George Michael's information. We just click here, say he no longer works at the banana stand. You click update, and you can see his information has been updated. If you're like, oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that, just click the undo button and you can see that that information comes back. So it's not permanent, you can fix that. So don't worry about making mistakes. Here is the shortcut menu. So in this area, this is the brains of the bunch for the shortcut menu. I've made it so that it is easily searchable. So it's not as easy as the other things because there were too many search criteria for me to program it to work smoothly. So the way that I did this is that it highlights the row that you're trying to update. So you can come up here and you can type in individually. If I put in test, you can see that all of these things come up differently. If I just click test CS, you can see that it highlights the row that that answer is in. So we can see that, yep, test CS is right there. If we wanted to do only this, right, you can see only this is highlighted in the third row. So it makes it easier for you to correct if there's a spelling mistake or anything else that you notice. You can find it this way and fix it so that when you're using your drop-down menus on the templates, you can make it all nice and neat. This is the same thing for objectives. You can click on any of these things or you can type it in. Comments, right? If I just do COM, it will highlight anything that has COM in it. So that level has COM in it. Makes it very easy to use. Coming down here, same thing with assessments, plan of care, all that. So if you also use the shortcut menu, we can go to assessments, plan of care. And again, you can add in as anything that you want here. This is available on every template, and every template you use updates this data center. You can see it's highlighted right there. So that if we do test, you're going to see 2 levels have been highlighted. If we wanted to do 97162, you're going to see 2 areas are highlighted. So that's just distinguishing where it is in your files for you, or where it is in the rows. And then you would just manually adjust it. So we're like, oh, we wanted to adjust this one. You double click and you see where you had your spelling mistake or what you wanted to add, and you could add it in that way. Flowsheet, this is the last one. But Flowsheet, again, this allows you to update your flowsheet based on the name of the treatment performed. So we click on search, and then you can see it runs its little program, and then you can change the CPT codes. I have them pre-listed on this bottom one just to make it easier for physical therapists to click the one that they want, and then you're good to go. You can update it and then click save, and everything will be all set. Save will add a new one to the bottom, so you can see that there I now updated it so that I didn't put the time spent. So if I wanted to individually put time spent on it, it would allow me to do that on there. If we wanted to do 8, and then we click update, okay. So that is, again, one of the problems. If you have the first one labeled, it will update both of them, right? So you need to make sure you click off of this when you put in the 8 and then click update. And I think it will update both of them, yeah. So you can see that it updated both of them that time. So just make sure, there are some limitations to this. If you wanted to, you could rename the 8-min, and that way it would distinguish it as being a new thing. So if you did save, now it will read it as a new one, and any updates or any changes you make to that one will be made. But overall, it's really functional, it's really usable, and I hope you like it. Feel free to join us on the Facebook discussion group, Unsubscribed Healthcare. And then also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Thanks so much.